black hair, gray-blue eyes, pale, tight face. I looked the same as always, except for one notable thing. The crown on my head. My gaze locked onto the thin silver band, which was surprisingly plain except for the small midnight blue pieces of tearstone that jutted up from the center. The 7 tearstone shards fitted together to form a crown, as if the silver band itself wasn't enough indication of who and what I was now. But it wasn't the only crown of shards I was wearing. I reached over with my left hand and touched the bracelet that circled my right wrist. It was made of curls of silver that had been twisted together to resemble sharp thorns, all of which wrapped around and protected the crown in the middle of the design. The crown embedded in the bracelet was also made of 7 tearstone shards, but it contained one thing that the actual crown on my head did not: magic. Like other jewels, tearstone could absorb, store, and reflect black magic, but it also had the unique property of offering protection from magic, deflecting it like a gladiator's shield would stop a sword in an arena fight. Each midnight blue shard in my bracelet contained a cold, hard power that was similar to my own magical immunity. The cool touch of the jewelry comforted me, as did the magic flowing through it. I needed all the help I could get today. Someone cleared her throat for a 3rd time, and I dropped my hand from my bracelet and focused on my reflection again. I slowly tilted my head to the side, and the silver crown swayed dangerously to the right. I straightened up and tilted my head to the other side, and it swayed in that direction. I still feel like the stupid thing is going to fall off, I muttered. It will not fall off, my queen, a low, soothing voice murmured. We've put plenty of pins in your hair to make sure that doesn't happen. A woman moved forward and stood beside me. She was on the short side, and the top of her head wasn't all that much higher than mine, even though I was seated. She was about my age, 27 or so, and quite lovely, with blue eyes, rosy skin, and dark honey-blonde hair that was pulled back into a pretty fishtail braid that trailed over her shoulder. She had a thick, strong body, but her fingers were long and lean and freckled with small white scars from all the pins and needles that had accidentally poked into her skin over the years. Lady Calandra had been Queen Cordelia's personal threadmaster for the last few months of the Queen's life, and now she was mine, as were her 2 teenage sisters, Camille and Sarana, who were hovering behind her. Are you pleased with your appearance, my queen? Calandra asked. I studied my blue tunic in the mirror. A crown of shards was stitched in silver thread over my heart, while still more silver thread scrolled across my neckline and flowed down my sleeves, as though I had wrapped myself in thorns. Standard black leggings and boots completed my outfit. Of course, your work is exquisite as always. Calandra nodded, and pride gleamed in her eyes at the compliment. She adjusted the long bell sleeves of her blue gown, even though they were already perfectly draped in place. They, too, were trimmed with silver thread, in keeping with the colors of the winter line of the Blair royal family. My colors now. I still wish that you had let me make you something grander, Calandra murmured. I could have easily done it with my magic. She was a master, which meant that her magic let her work with a specific object or element to create amazing things. In Calandra's case, she had complete control over thread, fabric, and the like. My nose twitched. I could smell her power on my tunic, a faint vinegary odor that was the same as the dyes that she used to give her garments their glorious colors. Calandra had tried to get me to don a ball gown for today's formal court session, since all the attending nobles would be decked out in their own finery, but I'd refused. I wasn't the queen everyone had expected, and I certainly wasn't the one they wanted, so draping myself in layers of silk and cascades of jewels seemed silly and pointless. Besides, you couldn't fight very well in a ball gown. Although in that regard, it didn't really matter what I wore, since every day at Seven Spire was a battle. Forget the clothes, another voice chimed in. I still can't believe that people sent you all this stuff. I looked over at a tall woman with braided blonde hair and beautiful bronze skin who was lounging on a blue velvet settee. She was wearing a forest green tunic that brought out her golden amber eyes.